Welcome guys, I'm Niklas Anttila. This is my in the bag video for 2020 season and first in the bag in English, so wish me luck. Starting off with my putting putters. I made a switch from P2s a couple years ago and haven't been looking back ever since. So I'm still sticking with D-line P1. What I like about the P1 is that it flies just like I want it to fly when I release it right. So straight and a little fade in the end. So that's why I'm choosing a P1. For throwing, first off is my most understable one. It's the Hard Exo Logic. I'm not really throwing this really far, just for those touchy approaches and like up to 50 meters putter shots. Next off I have a Active Premium Sensei. It's a little bit more overstable than the Logic, but not much. If I throw it full power it will get a little bit right, but yeah, this is my most used putter in the bag. Then I have 3 tactics. The most used one this year will be a Exo Soft Tactic. This is forehand only. I didn't have a tactic in a soft plastic in my bag last year, so I'm stoked to have this year, and it's coming off clean, so for those forehand approaches. Next in the stability is a Ratio Glove 1. This is the first I ever got from Jussi, and this is a broken glove one, so it's a straight but not understable. It's like a new Sensei, so I don't need to have a new Sensei because I have this. It's a straight flying tactic for backhands. And the newest one in my bag, I had it last year. It's a Italian C-line plastic and it's very overstable. If the winds pick up, I'm gonna rely on this one. That's it for the putters. Let's move on to the mid-ranges. For mid-ranges, I have 5 in the bag. Starting off with my most overstable one is the Neo Mutant. It's like the tilt of mid-ranges, and if I have an open hole and I can throw a higher shot, I'm going with Mutant. Next up, I have a Swirly MD5. This is also a new disc for me for the 2020 season, and it's not as overstable as like a Mutant, but I can rely on this, and it's a reliable higher shot disc. Then the disc that I'm the most comfortable with, you all know, Neo Method. This is the more used one. It's going straight with a little fade. And then I have this other one, which is new and still overstable. So if I need to throw straight with a headwind, I'm going with this Neo Method. Next up is a Glow MD3. This has been in my bag for like 2 years now, and it's good hyzer flip disc. I don't use it very often, but when I do need this, it's good to have. Next up is Fairway drivers. I have 6 in the bag, and first off I have a primal one, Neo Essence. This is like that MD3, so it's for those quick hyzer flip shots, and if I need to roll, I'm going with this one. Second fairway driver is Second Run FD. This has been in my bag for a couple of years now, and one of my most used discs. Just a straight with a little fade in the end. Just can't go wrong with the FD. Next up is my favorite mold in the Discmania lineup. It's the PD. I have 2 in the bag. More understable is this old S-line PD. This is almost like that Essence, but not good. And yeah, just good in the woods. And I think my most known disc at the moment is the lone hole PD. I parked the sudden death playoff hole in the Finnish Championship with this one and still in the bag, so shout out to Colter Montgomery. And then I have two FD3s. The more straight is a glow one. It's not straight, but when the wind picks up, I'm gonna choose the Dober 3. I'm just going with the backhand and forehand with these two, and yeah, in the windy conditions here in Texas, it's good to have FD3s in the bag. I do also have a tilt in the back. This is the disc I'm using like once a year or a couple times a year, but when I do need like over the trees, harsher shot, it's going straight, it's good to have the tilt. Time for the big boys, distance drivers, even though I'm not that big. But first off, my most overstable driver is Leo Pirnen Luster PD2. It's the most overstable PD2 I have ever owned. I'm throwing this like only in headwinds, and I can throw this maybe 90 meters at the most. Second, PD2. This is a normal C-line one. It's been in my bag for like a year now and it's beaten in nicely. It does have that overstability still, but it's not that overstable. But I can definitely throw this into the headwind. Usually I do have more ED3s in my bag, but at the moment I have three. First off, I have a most unstable one. It's the Cloudbreaker 2. This is the first one I ever got from Jussi. Like that Essence and MD3, it's a harsher flip disc and it's good to have in the bag. Next up I have a normal stock S-line DD3 and this is my most used one. It's not understable but not overstable, you know, just that's perfect far flying disc. The last disc I got from Nico, my good friend. It's more overstable than that yellow one, and if I need to throw like a straight shot in the headwind, I'm choosing this one. And yeah, good to have this here in Texas. I want to give the biggest shout out to Discmania for making a disc golf my job and making this trip here in US possible. And thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, see you guys.